Sector 1, Rizal.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the motion. The White Paper encapsulates the collective aspirations of women in Singapore. Importantly, it tackles the deep and long-running concerns and stigma and discrimination our women face at home, at school, workplaces, and the community. Regardless of where women are in their lives, we as a society must support them. Let it be their choice and not a decision or judgment that we impose on them. Hence, I welcome the 25 concrete actions that have been tabled in the White Paper. Sir, I would like to touch on two areas: supporting career aspirations and supporting their children's well-being. Sir, the pandemic has taught us that physical meetings can be replaced by virtual ones and matters can be easily resolved over emails. Importantly, we saw how flexible work arrangements allow organizations to remain productive while allowing workers to juggle other commitments at home. Now, this alleviates the mental burden faced by women who are caregivers, but at the same time, it allows the husbands the opportunity to share the load. Importantly, it can also encourage women who have not been working for some time to return to the working world with ease. I commend efforts such as Mom at Work, Career Navigators, and Mendaki Sen's Back to Work Women program, which mentor women who wish to get back to the working world, retrain them, and partner with companies to ensure a smooth transition. In that regard, I welcome the recent news by MOM that employers must consider staff requests for flexi work arrangements by 2024. However, I hope that the government can push the deadline earlier and explore accreditation models for companies that support FWAs and have concrete back-to-work women HR policies within their organizations. Staff welfare clubs for women or the setup of childcare arrangements within the building can also be implemented to allow women to have a strong support group within workplaces and allow their children to be near them while they work. Hence, I hope more companies can consider rolling them out to allow more women to return to the workforce. Mr. Speaker, the second area I would like to highlight is the need for us to support women in their children's well-being. Sir, apart from my mother and my wife, my late grandmother continues to be my inspiration. When my mother was born, her father passed on soon after. My grandmother raised 7 children on her own. She held multiple jobs. She was a religious teacher teaching Quranic recitation. She was a seamstress, sometimes sewing clothes for free so that the children in the kampung can have nice clothes. She was somewhat an entrepreneur. She cooked and sold epok-epok in the kampung too. She was a resilient woman. She held a tight ship, ensuring ends meet and that the children were well cared for. My mother, being the youngest, had sisters who were doubling up as mothers. Now, in situations like this, the elder ones usually make way for the younger ones to support their education. Now, although things turned out okay for my family, I've seen families of similar profiles within my constituency who are facing challenges. During a recent house visit, it pained me to find that the elder siblings yet to complete secondary schools forego their studies so that they can help with the family income. There are also times I found children who are without preschool education due to multiple constraints faced by single parents. Mr. Speaker, we need to strengthen support for women in vulnerable groups, those from low-income families as well as single parents. Their biggest worry is their children's well-being. We can help alleviate their worry and better support them mentally and emotionally by focusing our resources on supporting their children's well-being. We need to get the children in school, focus on their studies, and set them on the multiple pathways of success. Sir, we have now seen an increase in childcare and preschool places around Singapore. Perhaps you can have more child minding or student care services in schools and within clusters of low-income families, so that children from vulnerable families can get access to care conveniently while their mothers go out to work and focus on their careers. If we can focus our resources on the well-being of children, I'm optimistic that we can help our women from vulnerable families get back up and provide better for their families. In that regard, I welcome the expansion of Kids Start and hope that as the program continues to expand, the content and the delivery is not diluted. Sir, in Malay, please. Tuan Speaker, saya mengalu-alukan pembentangan kertas putih mengenai pembangunan wanita Singapura dan menyokong semua tindakan yang telah disarankan. Dalam ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris tadi, saya telah menyentuh dua perkara, iaitu aspirasi kerjaya dan sokongan untuk kanak-kanak. Kini lebih ramai wanita Melayu yang berkhidmat sebagai anggota lembaga pentadbir masjid dan juga badan-badan Melayu Islam Singapura. Namun, jika dibandingkan dengan jumlah lelaki, bilangan kaum wanita masih belum capai 50% yang sandang jawatan sebagai anggota pengarah pentadbiran. Sebagai contoh, walaupun dimendaki mereka ada ketua pegawai eksekutif wanita, hanya 7 dari 21 lembaga pengarah adalah wanita. Di MUIS pula, 5 dari 19 anggota majlis adalah wanita. Apakah pula bilangan bagi kaum wanita yang duduk di dalam lembaga pentadbir masjid? Saya bersyukur di dalam perkhidmatan saya sebagai pengurusi di masjid dahulu, saya telah bekerja dengan ramai wanita-wanita yang berkebolehan. Kita sudah pun ada Presiden wanita bagi Mahkamah Syariah. Malah Presiden kita, Puan Halimah Yaakob telah berada di kedudukan nombor 37 dalam senarai 500 umat Islam paling berpengaruh di dunia. Mungkin sudah tiba masanya untuk kita ada pengurusi wanita di masjid. Saya harap lebih banyak peluang dan ruang dibuka bagi kaum wanita untuk menyandang tanggungjawab dalam pucuk kepimpinan institusi kita. Bukan sahaja di mendaki MUIS dan masjid-masjid, malah di badan-badan Melayu Islam dan syarikat swasta, supaya kepelbagaian pendapat boleh diraih dalam pembincangan dan pembentangan dasar. Perkara kedua, kita masih melihat ramai ibu tunggal dan ibu dari keluarga yang bergaji rendah melalui pelbagai cabaran. Di antaranya mereka yang terpaksa berhenti kerja demi untuk menjaga anak mereka. Saya harap dengan pembentangan kertas putih ini, ia dapat mempertingkatkan lagi sokongan dan bantuan bagi wanita dan kanak-kanak dari keluarga yang memerlukan. Khususnya dalam menyediakan lebih banyak perkhidmatan jagaan kanak-kanak prasekolah dan juga selepas sekolah. Dengan ini, kaum ibu dapat berasa tenang untuk pulang bekerja dan kanak-kanak juga mendapat sokongan dari segi pendidikan dan kesejahteraan mental. Mr. Speaker, the White Paper on Women's Development is a strong signal on the government's direction towards a fairer and inclusive society where men and women are seen as equals and complementary in building a better Singapore. While the government leads the way in legislating these proposals, society as a whole must play its part. It is all hands on deck, regardless of gender or age, whether you are a student or a worker, employers or employees, in private or public sectors. To my fellow men out there, husbands, fathers, sons, let's ask ourselves, what kind of future do we want to create and leave behind for our women, our daughters? If we want our daughters to be respected, what are we doing within our homes or within the online space? If we want our daughters to succeed in their careers, what kind of work culture are we practicing in workplaces? Mr. Speaker, I support the paper.